Okay.
I've just always been interested in religion and I've always painted it. I just fell into it by chance. I went to Seville because of a horoscope. It was Semana Santa. I had absolutely no money, so I just took to the streets and started drawing. Because it was in Semana Santa, there was a load of things to draw. Everyone's probably heard of the Macarena, the famous summer hit of last year. The Macarena is a statue of the Virgin Mary, one of the most famous in all of Spain, and apparently the most beautiful. I used to sleep rough outside. A local woman used to give me sandwiches every day. To the outsider, it looks quite pagan, as people stay up all night in processions, getting drunk, eating. So there's all sorts of ulterior motives for doing Semana Santa. A lot of people in the hoods, they're called Nazarenes, which means lepers, and they're in hoods because they have sins, and this is their penance. This particular day I was fed up with the crowd, so I just headed to a quiet park and started sketching. The day I met Domingo for the first time, two motorbikes ran over all my paintings that I'd done, all the sketches I'd done that day, and destroyed them. So I was fairly low when I met him first.
Hello, my name is Domingo.
Are you interested in doing some paintings for me? And I said, yeah. I helped an angel, and then God comes to help me. He did it on the basis of this one drawing, just a man and a woman dancing, and he just did it all on the basis of that one drawing. He was a priest who, plain clothes, who had a church up in a town called Bilches in Jaén, about 3 hours away, and there was no Stations of the Cross. It had been destroyed in the Civil War. So the chances that the last thing I painted was the Stations of the Cross, and then 2 years on the street in another country, a man would come up and ask me to paint the same thing. It's just absurd. So it changed my life from that point on. I've done nearly 90 paintings for the Catholic Church in Spain, all of them in Andalucia. One particular church has 37 paintings in Bilches, in Jaén. Also, in Catalia, there's 21 paintings making up an altarpiece. They love my work and they're very proud of it, and they'll defend it. In Catalia once, a local priest from a nearby town came and visited, and he was a well-respected priest in the area, and he thought it looked like a discotheque with the colours, and immediately the locals from Catalia just totally dismissed him, said he doesn't know what he's talking about. They were proud of it, he was just jealous, and just because his church didn't have nice new paintings. I was living in a small town and painting right beside the church and meeting all the people every day. So a lot of the faces that are in the paintings are local people. Now, not consciously, but everybody comes up to me and says, that's Juan Lu, isn't it? And I go, yeah. My style is quite photographic, I've been told, in its composition. Because normally with religious paintings you have the whole figure in. But with mine I kind of zoom in and you'll get faces cut off at the edge or just close-ups. It looks like a flash from history. And that's the photographic element. And I do take photographs a lot. So I'm used to the medium, and I think people read photographs much better than they do paintings now, because they see photographs every day in newspapers, on TV. So it's a medium for communication that I think everybody is used to.
Le da un abrazo a don Domingo, de mí, un abrazo de Seba, un abrazo. Y entonces tú le preguntas que si yo eso.
I believe in God, and I have a lot of respect for all religions. The Catholic religion is the one I was brought up in, the one I know. Even though I have a lot of problems with a lot of their rules. God is nature, isn't he? You have to think time-wise as well. What's the biggest one we can make? 2 days or something.
Basically less even.
I find dance culture or dancing very spiritual. You can go into trance, and I reach a level where I'm, well, you could say close to God. And I think a lot of, even I wouldn't be conscious of being close to God. I'd just be totally free, or I'd just be somewhere that isn't on terra firma. And I get a lot of the inspiration for the paintings, for the actual paintings, for the next batch of paintings from raving, because when people are dancing so long and into trance, they have an expression on their face that is kind of sublime. Gurning. But some of the faces of people in ecstasy, they're very useful in painting, because especially painting religious images, because it's the face of ecstasy, of Holy Mary being lifted up to heaven. It's a face of someone dancing absolutely, totally happy. Incredibly hard, and then after 2 or 3 weeks of painting a lot and hard, I just need to release. So I go to a rave or a club, or I set up parties in the country with my friends, and we party. My paintings in an art gallery would be seen as kitsch, but in a church they're not. Ropa Positiva is my friend's shop. They make their own clothes. They asked me to decorate their shop, which I did from start to finish, from floor to ceiling, and took it on much like a painting. I was looking for Ropa Positiva, which means positive clothes. So everything about it is very positive. There's a lot of colour, a lot of action, a lot of energy in it.
Un pequeño retraso.
Yeah, that's right. A pair and a half.
You're in the middle of nowhere. You bring the generator, the decks, the music, the DJs, and you play in a beautiful spot for 2 or 3 days non-stop.
No, prefiero una mochila.
That's it, funny lad.
Cristo nos da la libertad, Cristo nos da la salvación, Cristo nos da la esperanza, Cristo nos da el amor. Cuando luche por la paz y la verdad la encontraré. Cuando cargue con la cruz de los demás me salvaré. Dame, Señor, tu palabra. Oye, Señor, mi oración. Cristo nos da la libertad, Cristo nos da la salvación, Cristo nos da la esperanza, Cristo nos da el amor. Cuando sepa perdonar de corazón, tendré perdón. Cuando siga los caminos del amor, veré al Señor. Dame, Señor, tu palabra. Oye, Señor, mi oración. Cristo nos da la libertad, Cristo nos da la salvación. Cristo nos da la esperanza. Cristo nos da el amor. Cuando siembre la alegría y la amistad, vendrá el amor. Cuando viva en comunión con los demás, seré de Dios. Dame, Señor, tu palabra. Oye, Señor, mi oración. Cristo nos da la libertad. Cristo nos da la salvación. Cristo nos da la esperanza. Cristo nos da el amor.